Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Government reviews compliance of Prime Minister's previous directions to ensure COVID-19 preparedness. BJP to fight elections alone in Karnataka, says Union Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah. Centre to roll out new integrated food security scheme from tomorrow. 186 terrorists, including 56 foreigners, killed in J&K anti-militancy operations in the year 2022, says State DGP Dilbagh Singh. Former Pope Benedict XVI passes away at his Vatican residence. New Year celebrations in full swing across the country. Tourists throng several hill stations to welcome 2023. The government today reviewed COVID-19 situation in the country and compliance with previous directions from the Prime Minister at a high-level meeting in New Delhi to ensure preparedness and effective management. The meeting was chaired by Dr. P.K. Mishra, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister. During the meeting, he was apprised of the evolving global scenario of the pandemic, with spikes in COVID cases in a few countries, including China, Japan, South Korea, Singapore and Brazil. It was informed that as many as 1,716 international flights have been screened and over 5,000 samples collected for COVID-19 testing. The Principal Secretary to Prime Minister was informed that guidelines for international arrivals have been revised on the 29th of this month. As per the guidelines, all international arrivals from China, Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, Thailand and Japan will undergo mandatory pre-departure RT-PCR testing from tomorrow. The passengers of these countries have to submit and upload negative RT-PCR test reports as well as self-declaration forms on Air Suvidha portal. During the review meeting, it was stated that whole genome sequencing is being strengthened, ensuring that a larger number of samples are sent to the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genomics Consortium INSACOG network. Around 500 samples received during this month are currently being genome sequenced by INSACOG labs across the country. The status of COVID vaccination was also reviewed during the meeting. Union Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah has said the BJP will fight elections alone in Karnataka and also form the government in the state. Addressing booth-level workers of the BJP in Bengaluru, he said those associated with JDS are spreading rumours that BJP will form an alliance with them. He said it is the aspiration of all BJP workers to strengthen BJP in South India, and Karnataka is the gateway to the South. Mr. Shah criticized the Congress, saying that for them power is a tool to indulge in corruption and for the BJP it is a medium to work for the poor. He pointed out that in Karnataka the Congress and JDS coalition government fell due to the burden of corruption, thereby paving the way for B.S. Yediyurappa to form the government.
जब भी चुनाव आता है नई नई चीजें लेकर आ जाते हैं उनके लिए सत्ता भ्रष्टाचार करने का एक साधन है और हमारे लिए सत्ता राज्य के गरीब से गरीब व्यक्ति को सुखी करने का एक साधन है 2022 के अंदर 7 राज्यों में चुनाव हुए 7 राज्यों में से 5 राज्यों के अंदर भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने पूर्ण बहुमत प्राप्त किया है.
The centre will roll out a new integrated food security scheme from tomorrow. As per the decision of the Union Cabinet, the new scheme will provide free food grains to over 81 crore beneficiaries under the National Food Security Act, NFSA, in 2023. The scheme will also ensure effective and uniform implementation of the Act. Free food grains will concurrently ensure uniform implementation of portability under the One Nation, One Ration card across the country. Our correspondent reports that the new scheme is aimed at bringing uniformity and clarity to food security under NFSA.
Under the scheme, the central government will provide free food grains to all NFSA beneficiaries, including Antyodaya Ann Yojana households and priority household persons. The food grains will be provided through the widespread network of over 5 lakh fair price shops across the country. The central government will bear the food subsidy of more than 2 lakh crore rupees in 1 year. The decision will strengthen the provisions of NFSA in terms of accessibility, affordability and availability of food grains for the poor. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Dr. L. Murugan, today said that despite corona-induced economic slowdown, the country's marine products exports grew by 32%, thus generating employment and contributing significantly to the country's economy. He was speaking to media persons after a review meeting with officials of the Central Institute of Fisheries, Nautical and Engineering Training in Kochi. Union Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, today inaugurated the Incubation Centre at the National Research Development Corporation NRDC in New Delhi. It will provide multi-pronged support to startups. Dr. Singh noted that after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's announcement of Startup India, NRDC had reoriented itself to become the only national-level PSU which is providing its services for taking the lab-scale technologies developed by public-funded research institutes to industry. Jammu and Kashmir Director General of Police Dilbagh Singh has said the year 2022 was the most peaceful year on the security front compared to the last 4 years that saw the killing of 56 foreigners among 186 terrorists. He added that 100 youths joined militancy in 2022, out of which 17 were arrested and the rest were killed in various encounters. Addressing the year-end press conference at Jammu today, DGP Singh said the majority of the slain terrorists were affiliated with the Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed outfits.
बहुत सारे कामयाब ऑपरेशन हुए 186 दहशतगर्द जिसमें 56 फॉरेन टेररिस्ट हैं यानी कि पाकिस्तान से आए हुए पाकिस्तान के रहने वाले दहशतगर्द हैं जो लश्कर तौबा और जैश मोहम्मद के साथ वाबस्ता रहे उनका भी सफाया हुआ। जो सरहद पार से साजिशें होती रहती हैं कि जहां का लोकल यूथ उनको तशद्दुद के रास्ते पर चलाया जाए उसकी गिनती भी सिर्फ और सिर्फ 100 तक रही जिसमें से 18 ही लोग बचे हैं।
The DGP said the New Year resolution of the police for the year 2023 will be Mission Zero Terror, and the prime focus will be on wiping out the terror ecosystem wherever it exists in J&K. Over 16,554 tribal villages have been covered so far under the Pradhan Mantri Adi Adarsh Gram Yojana for the integrated development of tribal-dominated villages. The Tribal Affairs Ministry said an amount of over 1,900 crore rupees has already been released to the states. The main objective of this scheme is to achieve socio-economic development of selected villages through a convergence approach. The growth rate in the production of 8 core sectors jumped to 5.4% in November against 3.2% in the corresponding month last year. In October 2022, the core sector's output growth stood at 0.9%. The production growth of 8 infrastructure sectors, coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement and electricity stood at 8% during April to October this fiscal compared to 13.9% a year ago. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. A fresh spell of the cold wave is likely to start in northwest India from tomorrow. India Meteorological Department IMD said cold wave conditions are likely in Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and North Rajasthan during the next 4 to 5 days. IMD said due to light winds and high moisture near the surface over the Indo-Gangetic plains, dense fog is likely in many pockets over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh and North Rajasthan. Delhi police has arrested the most wanted accused in connection with the Hooch tragedy in Bihar. Several people lost their lives after consuming spurious liquor in the state earlier this month. The accused has been identified as Ram Babu Mahato, a resident of Saran district of Bihar. Former Pope Benedict XVI passed away at his Vatican residence at the age of 95. Born as Joseph Ratzinger in Germany, the 265th leader of the Roman Catholic Church had been ill for some time. He led the Catholic Church for less than 8 years until in 2013 he became the first pope to resign since Gregory XI in 1415. His successor, Pope Francis, will lead the funeral on the 5th of January. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief over the passing away of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, who devoted his entire life to the Church and the teachings of Lord Christ. New Year celebrations are in full swing across the country to welcome the new year 2023. Tourists are thronging several hill stations to celebrate the New Year festivities with a bang after 2 consecutive celebrations were dampened by COVID-19 restrictions. The Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine in Jammu Division witnessed a huge rush of devotees today as serpentine queues were seen on the Trikuta hills of Katra despite the severe cold conditions ahead of the new year. Devotees hailing from different regions of the country made their way up and down the Trikuta hills to get divine blessings for the new year. Doda District Administration, in collaboration with Rashtriya Rifles Unit based at Bhadarwah, also organized New Year celebrations at high-altitude Guldanda Meadow today. The program was aimed at inculcating a sense of belonging among common masses towards the army and simultaneously to promote adventure and winter tourism in a big way at the valley. In Himachal Pradesh, tourists from different states across the country have reached various tourist places to celebrate the new year. A large number of tourists are being seen in Shimla, Manali, Dalhousie, Dharamshala and Lahore Spiti. In Rajasthan, a large number of domestic and foreign tourists, including film personalities, have arrived in Ranthambore National Park to welcome the new year. Goa is also one of the most sought-after tourist places across the world. Our correspondent reports from Goa.
Tourists have been arriving in Goa in large numbers to celebrate New Year 2023. Goa is witnessing an extra rush on its roads, beaches and hotels. Hotels in the state are almost near to the full capacity. Government's decision not to impose any COVID-19 related restrictions has also helped the mood of the celebration. Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant clarified that the state will not impose any pandemic related restriction till January 2nd, 2023, but also appealed to the people to take precautions on their own. This announcement has helped the overall tourism in the coastal state of the Goa. A number of beachside parties, New Year bashes at the nightclubs and other event venues have been planned in the coastal areas. Meanwhile, the police department is prepared to maintain overall law and order on this day of huge rush and excitement. Tushar Jadhav for AIR News, Panaji, Goa.
The Delhi police has made elaborate security arrangements in the national capital in view of the New Year celebrations. More than 18,000 Delhi police personnel have been deployed across the city to keep a strict visual on violations and make sure security remains intact during the celebrations. Delhi Police Special Commissioner Traffic S.S. Yadav said, as part of the security arrangements, a total of 125 spots of drunk and dangerous driving have been identified for taking stringent action against the violators.
दिल्ली ट्रैफिक पुलिस और दिल्ली पुलिस का ये उद्देश्य रहेगा कि नया साल जो है सभी के लिए सुरक्षित भी रहे और हर्षोल्लास से मनाया जाए और इसी को मद्देनजर रखते हुए हम लोगों ने काफी इंतजाम किए हैं जिसमें कोरोना कंप्लायंट बिहेवियर को भी ध्यान में रखा गया है। करीबन 1850 लोगों को डिप्लॉय किया जाएगा दिल्ली ट्रैफिक पुलिस के। इसके अलावा पुलिस के भी करीबन 17-18 हजार लोगों का इंतजाम रहेगा। ये इंश्योर किया जाएगा कि रेकलेस ड्राइविंग, ड्रंकन बिहेवियर, नेग्लिजेंस ड्राइविंग, डेंजरस ड्राइविंग, इस पर जो है सख्ती से एनफोर्समेंट किया जाएगा।
President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar have greeted people on the eve of New Year 2023. In a message, the President urged people to rededicate themselves to the unity, integrity and inclusive development of the nation. President Murmu wished for the progress and prosperity of the glorious nation and the people in 2023. The Vice President in his message said, this joyous occasion is an opportunity to continue our efforts with greater vigor, ensuring the upward growth trajectory. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government reviews compliance of Prime Minister's previous directions to ensure COVID-19 preparedness. BJP to fight elections alone in Karnataka, says Union Minister and Senior BJP leader Amit Shah. Centre to roll out new integrated food security scheme from tomorrow. 186 terrorists, including 56 foreigners, killed in J&K anti-militancy operations in the year 2022, says State DGP Dilbagh Singh. Former Pope Benedict XVI passes away at his Vatican residence. And New Year celebrations in full swing across the country. Tourists throng several hill stations to welcome 2023. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.